So Texas is destroying Oklahoma in the team rankings, and we're going to unpack why that is. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always O-related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, talk about why Texas, among others, is destroying Oklahoma in the latest recruiting rankings. So this upload is referencing rankings that show Oklahoma at number 16 in the 247 composite and Texas at number 6. That is 10 spots of difference, right? Good news is Oklahoma ain't there by itself. Oregon is just ahead of it at number 15, Penn State at number 14, Washington at number 17. Bad news is North Carolina's at 18. North Carolina ain't very good, y'all. And Texas A&M is outside the top 10. But Texas has been just destructive on the recruiting trail. They're getting who they want. And this upload is in part response to Josh Eaton, who I think did a troll job. And I applaud him for that because there are a lot of people that bought into him actually considering Oklahoma. And for those of you that don't know, Josh Eaton is the guy for which we have the quote about Alex Grinch saying, "I don't have any NFL talent on my roster, and you can come here and play right away." And then that quote got blown out of proportion because another network attributed that quote to Alex Grinch directly in relation to the commitment of Bryson Washington. Whatever. But Bryson Washington is a good get, as was Brendan Walker, as was Ryan Watts. Excuse me. Ooh, that was a rough cough. I didn't really think that this 2020 class was going to get where people wanted it to go. Not just because of the quarterback situation, which I will get to and unpack further, but because you only got 16 seniors in this roster to date. And 4 of those guys are Connor McGinnis, Austin Jackson, Robert Charlton, and Clayton Woods. Ain't none of them dudes got stats at Oklahoma, alright? Which is to say that ain't none of them dudes on a scholarship, okay? Alright? So throw those dudes out. And you got 15 commits to Texas's 18 commits, and you don't have a quarterback. Now, to say what you want about Hudson Card, dude's coming out of Lake Travis and he can play, and he's going to be a good player, I think. I'm not into the idea of just trashing a kid to make an argument that Texas ain't any good. I mean, we can all have opinions about Texas without talking about the individual talent at Texas. Like, for instance, Caden Stearns out of Texas is really good, and I'm excited to watch him play football. I'm excited to watch Jake Smith play football at Texas at wide receiver. But it really does come back to having a quarterback in the class, guys, okay? You got to remember, players want to play with other players. You see this in the NBA, and because they're professionals, they get much more coverage. And because the NCAA still doesn't know what to do with recruiting, they don't. So you rely on guys like myself and others, national analysts, other recruiting analysts at team sites, to do this kind of work for you. But we ain't got the budget at ESPN to publicize how this works. If you just pay attention to recruiting, you'll understand a lot of how this works. And you see it in the 2019 class. Spencer Rattler was early in, okay? He's also the best quarterback in the 2019 class, according to the rankings, which is a good place to start. No matter how you feel about rankings, or 5 stars, or 4 stars, or no stars, or whatever, kids want to play with other kids they know can play. You don't get Theo Weiss, Jaden Hazelwood, Trajan Bridges, and Austin Stogner to stay in the boat. Spencer Rattler's not in the boat, okay? They want a guy that they know is going to play with them. And you're going to be like, well, they got the 2021 kid coming in. It's not how it works, all right? I mean, yes, Brock Vandergriff is awesome, okay? And I think that he had a lot to do with Andrew Raym, 2020 class, deciding that he wanted to come. But it doesn't work that way for everybody, okay? You're going to grow up with this dude. You're going to be on the scout team with this dude. You're going to go to classes with this dude. You don't want to join a class where you don't know who's throwing passes. And more to the point, as both sides of the ball. Because defensive backs want to go against the best. That's a reason why, you come to Oklahoma in the first place. You want to get challenged because you know that people are going to throw the ball in the league. But if you know you got a Heisman Trophy winner over there passing against you, you know you're going up against the best in college football in practice. It's really not as difficult to understand as it seems to be because it's whimsy, wadsy, fugazi, and recruiting is behind paywalls for the most part. So you got to pay for it to understand it. And I get all of that, right? This channel exists in part due to that. But you also have to be reasonable with what you expect. You cannot expect a top 10 recruiting class without a quarterback, especially in an age where people are signing more than one quarterback to a class. All right? That's really what it is here. You need a leader because kids recruit just like coaches recruit. You keep kids in the boat by having guys recruit. Guys like Levi Draper, guys like Trey Brown can help you. But if you have Chris Robinson like you did, it really does help solidify and secure your class, no matter what happens after the fact. And you really have to look at guys like Tanner Mordecai, who wasn't necessarily the leader in that 2018 class, but he ain't hurt it none. And you can set it up to go get guys down the line that you can flip in December or January. You were able to close hard in this 2019 class defensively because you had it solidified offensively. You got DJ Graham. You got Brian Darby. You got Trevin. Trevin West? What's Trevin's last name? Yes, I had it right. See, I'm not losing my mind. Jalen Conyers is going to be a really great tight end at Oklahoma. And you got guys, all right? Edgerrin Cooper, I think, is going to be pretty good. I like what they have. Nate Anderson is a project, but he's a very good project. You just ain't got a quarterback. And a quarterback helps you in the rankings. A quarterback helps you in recruiting. And it doesn't seem like Lincoln Riley just wants to go get a 2020 guy. And for those of you that are throwing Cade Horton up, that dude's going to be on a baseball scholarship and is a preferred walk-on at Oklahoma to play quarterback. Okay? If that's the rate you want to go, I'm not going to stop you. But that guy's not necessarily being depended on as a 2020 quarterback. All right? We talked about Michael Henderson. He ain't necessarily the dude that's going to be able to play quarterback at Oklahoma. All right? For all intents and purposes, there is not a quarterback committed to this class. The guy that Lincoln Riley wanted committed to USC. And coincidentally, Bryce Young is also wanted by Alabama and Steve Sarkisian. All right? That dude has options. But he seems to want to play at USC. He seems to want to stay in LA. He seems to want to play for Graham Harrell, which, by the way, is running an offense that looks a lot like Oklahoma's. So for him, everything is coming up Bryce. I really wish that there was more to it than this. But for now, you're going to have to wait for some momentum to come from winning lots of football games. All right? Coming out of a dead period into another period. I expect more out of the 2021 class because Brock Vandegrift is early in. And you can build on the foundation that is the 5-star quarterback, and according to at least one network, the #1 player in the country. All right? That's it for me. Doses.